Coming up this week on the Course of Life podcast, golf headlines all over, including the simplest winner ever, a finally moment on the LPGA, Trump's infamous 67, and a cringe-worthy moment as well in professional golf. We're tuned into a past guest success on America's Got Talent and Storm season. This week's guest, professional bull rider Austin Richardson, who I met this past weekend, and you'll hear all about my crazy shark cage experience at the PBR Team Series. Plus, we get into birthday meal conversation when we always end with food. All of it brought to you by our friends at Desert Fox Golf. We love Desert Fox Golf because they created the phone caddy, golf towels and accessories, cigar holders, and the Swing Aid tumblers, which we love for all the golfers out there. So I'm talking to you out there. If you know or you have an event coming up where it's large scale and you got a lot of people that you got to give some great golf gifts to, you need to hit us up in the DMs. That's right, DM COL Podcast on Instagram. And if you connect us to the event manager and they book a nice big Desert Fox golf order for all of you and your golfing friends to have great stuff for the tournament, you will get a cash referral up to $200 for a large scale event. That's right, there is cash in your pocket on the line just for suggesting that you get Desert Fox Golf and their products at your next large-scale golf event. Again, DM us at COL Podcast on Instagram with the event info. Tell us everything about it and why they should have Desert Fox products, and we will take it from there. Thanks again for supporting Desert Fox Golf. They're a great sponsor of ours, and we love featuring them on the program.
Hello, interwebs, and welcome to Course of Life. We are proud to be presented by our friends at Desert Fox Golf and the Live Take app. I'm Michael, he's Alex. And Alex, the sleepy, quiet, really kind of boring birdie fest of a course at East Lake every year promotes, we get some sort of drama or something that gets created at the Tour Championship. And Viktor Hovland's drama was just going full superhero mode throughout the entire week and just saying like, yeah, I shot a 61 to win to win last weekend. I'm just going to go ahead and keep scoring and keep playing really well. And I'm going to go ahead and win by 5 strokes. And that's what he did. Yeah,
when you're hot, you're hot.
Yeah. Just untouchable out there. Really, his worst round was a 68 to start the week. And after that, it was just like he barnstormed like he did last Sunday and just went full out and just took the W. Never in doubt, really, maybe for a brief moment on the back nine. And so for 2 weeks of work, he gets paid what, like $21 million or something like that? Oh,
yeah, if not more. Yeah, it's 18 for the FedEx. And I don't know how much he won for the BMW. Just an absurd cash out for Viktor Hovland. And what a well-timed hot streak, too, to come with your best play. You know, starts at 8 under, just 2 back of the lead because of the staggered scoring, shoots 19 under for the week on his own. I mean, he would have pretty much done it regardless of the staggered scoring format. So really impressive stuff from Hovland. And I said simple because the guy is just, no offense, he's got a nice smile and a great personality on the course, but he's just vanilla ice cream in the interview. He couldn't think of one thing, Mike, that he's going to purchase or splurge on for himself after this newfound glory and riches, winning the $18 million for the FedEx Cup. Mike, I know we're pretty simple people too, but I know we could think of one thing we could buy, when asked in the press conference. So the guy is just, he's a simple man, but he just simply got his way around the course a lot easier than everyone else.
I love the video. I'm sure you saw it of him being handed a bag of Chipotle chips and guac when he was walking around the course afterwards. And it's just like, yeah, that's all right. That's pretty simple, but it works. Whatever is something you like. And he just liked turning his game around. You remember 4 years ago when he joined the tour, we had high hopes for him, but he just couldn't do anything. And this year was probably again, this year I think was marked by guys that
the
just
official
were,
coming out party,
coming out party for Viktor Hovland if you didn't know who he was. But I think this year was marked by guys out on tour who just played fantastic, consistent golf all year.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Let's get into kind of a quick recap of the season while we turn the page in a couple of weeks officially. But, we had all the talk based around the big three names of Scotty, Rory, and Rahm. But I feel like some of the most unique storylines came from outside those three guys when it was all said and done. And Viktor Hovland was a perfect example of that. So,
yeah. And, I think Viktor Hovland got lost in the shuffle of these guys. And so we talked all season about Scotty Scheffler being like the number one golfer. Yeah, his putting was atrocious, but he was like constantly in top tens. You could just ride him on top tens for the entire year.
Right.
And Jon Rahm was kind of the same way. And really, Scotty and Jon Rahm were not conversations in this FedEx Cup. It was Rory was a conversation starter to an extent.
Yeah.
And so
a little bit of Max Homa and Colin Morikawa.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. It's like, and you look back at that player of the year discussion now as it sits, and it's weird because I want to lean Rahm just because he has the 4 wins, which no one else has.
And the major.
But down the stretch, it wasn't pretty. He didn't seal the deal by any means. So it really is, again, for probably the second or third straight year, it's pretty open to interpretation who ends up getting that player of the year award.
I mean, I feel like the question is in terms of player of the year and who dominated the statistical categories. We don't talk stats a whole lot on here, but if you look at it that way, it's between Hovland and Scotty, to me, the two that led the tour statistically and just constantly were in the hunt every single week. I think ultimately, if that's the conversation, it almost has to go to Hovland. So maybe he is the player of the year. We'll see.
It was a big time finally moment on the LPGA Tour. Speaking of New England and New Englanders, this is a girl who grew up in the Boston area, Mike, that has been on tour for 8 years now. And she finally got her first pro win in Megan Khang on the LPGA. Very impressive. It even took her a playoff to do it, but she got it done at the CPKC, the Women's Open in Vancouver there. So really gutsy stuff to see from her. And she's going to be part of that Solheim Cup team as well, too.
Yeah, that's great to see that a journeywoman is finally able to get out a W after 191 career starts. So just great for Megan Khang there.
That was really cool to see. And then also a very interesting announcement, which kind of got my head churning, Mike. They officially made the captain's picks for the Solheim Cup, which is coming up in Spain. As you remember, at the top of the year in January, I met and interviewed Captain Stacy Lewis at the PGA show. And I posted the clips on our Instagram. They'll go up again throughout the week. But a little bit of a psychic moment because I mentioned 2 past Course of Life guests in Allie Ewing and Cheyenne Knight. I basically stand for them and told Stacy that she should make these picks. Lo and behold, Mike, 2 of the 3 captain's picks, former Course of Life podcast guests. How about that for fair play, huh?
I mean, we've talked about the podcast bump a lot, and I think it just goes to show that that's exactly what it is. It's a bump when you're on this podcast. Good things happen in your career.
And the captain was sitting in there. She was slaving over her final picks. And, the last thing she thought, Mike, is, what would Alex do right now? What would Alex from Course of Life do? That random guy I talked to 8 months ago. What would he do? And that's exactly what went to her mind. So shout out to Allie Ewing and Cheyenne Knight for both making the team. They're going to be fantastic additions. Like I'd mentioned, Cheyenne's a bulldog. She's a fighter, and Allie Ewing just super straight off the tee, really consistent, good veteran presence. Looking forward to Solheim Cup coverage in a few weeks. In addition to a Ryder Cup year, Mike, it's a double for golf fans as well.
There's a lot of great stuff going on during this quote unquote off season in golf.
For real. Yeah.
Let's talk about the senior circuit real quick too, because Alex, have you ever 5-putted before?
Oh, yes, I have. I have a nightmare-inducing story. It was a first hole at a tournament I played in about 10 years ago, and I literally could not get the ball in the hole. It may have actually been a 6-putt. I borderline lost count, so I feel all the traumatic energy from that every day I hit the golf course.
Yeah, and Paul Goydos did a 5-putt on the 72nd hole to lose this weekend.
Absolutely brutal moment on the PGA Tour champions. Paul Goydos, you may know him from his TV days. Shot a 59 on the PGA Tour. Great guy. Funny personality. There was nothing funny or no smiles to be found after the 5-putt, Mike. It's a cringeworthy video. You can find it circulating online, but he basically had about a 3-footer for par and ended up with a triple bogey. That's all you need to know. So it was an embarrassing moment. They're just like us, Mike, the pros. Every once in a while, they have those amateur moments. And as a result, your boy, I affectionately call him, you're not so much of a friend, Vijay Singh ended up getting the win out there.
Yeah, that makes it even worse. I mean, come on, Paul. Seriously, dude, come on.
Crazy one of us moment there out on the senior circuit.
Also, just want to drop a little self-promotion. It's what we do here. If you haven't looked at our YouTube channel recently, we got a video there showcasing our time at the European Club when we were in Ireland a few weeks ago. Again, fantastic course, just phenomenal. I know the conditions were hurricane-inducing, but it was just a phenomenal course.
And people are loving the reel of the putt we did from on the 127-yard green. Make sure you check that out. It's the longest green in the world. And we posted a reel this past week, which was getting a lot of good attention of us in a putt competition. It was intense, and it was full intense conditions out there, rain, wind, and everything. And you'll have to see who ended up winning. Check out the Instagram at COL Podcast for that.
And we got more coming up there over this next week as well, including some time when we were at Rosslare, when we finished the week at Rosslare.
I'm going to do a little sightseeing Rosslare combo for our final round and our journey down to the southeastern corner of Ireland. Check out the YouTube again. Subscribe to Course Life on YouTube. So lots of content incoming. We're always big on the golf social content. And speaking of golf, I'm squeezing this in on you, Mike. The Trump 67. He tweeted it out to the world. Well, what do you think it actually was? What do you think the actual score was?
I think he actually shot maybe an 82.
I'm gonna go with I was gonna go 78, 79. I think.
Yeah, he's also Donald is also 6'2" and 215 pounds. So he's just
that's right. Yes, same height and weight, by the way, as Lamar Jackson, the former NFL MVP and starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. I guess if he is that height and weight, it may have been a 67. What do we know, right?
I mean, for that height and weight, he looks really, really bad.
Are you saying it's gone straight to his hips? Unbelievable.
It certainly has. That's for darn sure.
Good stuff.
All right. Hey, the PGA Tour season is over, Alex, but that doesn't mean the golf is over. We're headed to Europe. It's the European Masters and the DP World Tour. Beautiful golf in Europe.
I love this place, Mike. This is Cran-sur-Sierre up in the Swiss Alps, mountainside golf course, literally built on the side of a mountain. It's a very cool watch for the morning fans in the U.S. Grab your coffee, grab your breakfast sandwich, start your Labor Day weekend off with the DP World Tour. Matt Fitzpatrick in the field, too. He's won here before, so he's the commanding betting favorite. I did a full preview on runyourpool.com with all my picks for the week, but sneaky, decent field. Some fun names that you may recognize. Padraig Harrington teeing up the week before the Irish Open. I guess he's getting his game mentally ready for the K Club, it sounds like. So
if I got to pick between him and maybe Seamus Power at the K Club, I'm picking Seamus Power.
There you go. All right. Yeah. Well, that's a little preview of what's to come next week. So we get the European Masters, Irish Open next week, and then the PGA Tour resumes. Don't worry, they're not taking too long of a break. We got some fall events starting in 2 weeks.
All right, let's switch over to Tuned In, where we share what we're tuning into outside of the world of sports. I'm very tuned in right now to Tropical Storm Idalia. By the time everyone listens to this, it'll be Hurricane Idalia bearing
It's
down
on you right now.
On the Big Bend. It won't be on me, but it's supposed to come across Savannah and really almost go like right over our heads as a weakening Category 1 or tropical storm. So it's going to be a fun midweek time here in Savannah and Low Country.
Sounds like we got to just say our thoughts and prayers for that Florida Panhandle. Hopefully they make it through okay through all this. But I think this is pretty mild for you. This is child's play. I will say that we kind of jokingly said, there's been nothing going on with hurricane season a week or so ago on the podcast. And here we are. You get what you ask for in life.
I got to say, while it is maybe child's play, even for us here in Savannah, you still got to be careful. You're still looking at 40-mile-an-hour sustained winds, gusts up into the 70s, a substantial amount of rain, potential flooding as well. So you still need to be very careful, even if we're not looking at a Category 2 or getting bombarded with something coming off right off the ocean. So still need to be careful out there no matter what the conditions are.
So it's a little beyond golfing weather. Our European club was probably around maybe 30 to 50 miles an hour. So double that. And I don't think it's going to be golfing conditions. So everyone just enjoy the indoors there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Love it. I'm tuned into a former guest of the show. Again, another one I met at the PGA show, Mitch Rossell, the country singer, having his big time viral moment right now.
Yeah.
He had his second performance on America's Got Talent. He crushed it with the song All I Need to See, about when he first met his wife, who he's still with to this day. And lo and behold, Mitch just announced the news that he officially got signed to a record deal with Dreamcatcher Records. Congrats. Round of applause from everyone here at Course of Life. We're hoping to reconnect again with Mitch soon, but really cool to see him take this next step in his career.
Again, podcast bump.
It's everywhere, Mike. It's everywhere. Bump. And now imagine if he shoots his best round of golf ever on the golf course too. Then we're really cooking with gas. So we can give you a bump in music, golf, really anywhere if you come on the show, I guess.
It's going to be, pretty much. So if you want to be on the show and do better in your career,
hit us up.
Hit us up. Yeah, we'll make it happen. And it doesn't matter whether you're a grinder or whether you're Tiger Woods. Tiger, hit us up.
Yes. No. Yeah. We will take an invite from Tiger to
I'm not saying that Tiger Woods will win a major again if he were to get on the podcast, but I'm not saying he won't.
Yeah. So, exactly.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. All right, let's go ahead and get into this week's guest. A couple weeks ago, we had on the head coach of the Austin Gamblers. That's professional bull riding. And Alex, you were in the house this weekend for the Austin Gamblers.
Yeah, Austin Gambler Days, the PBR Team Series. So this isn't an individual bull riding competition. It's a team series competition that they just invented in the last couple of years. And what a spectacle this is. And I got a chance to sit down with one of the riders from the Gamblers. Met him last weekend as well, too. Really cool conversation coming your way with a guy that does this for a living. Neat stuff.
We'll get to that conversation in just a moment. But first, let's talk to you about the Live Take app. This is where sports debates are solved once and for all. Alex and I are on there once a week doing a live take. That's where we sit down and record for about 5 minutes and share our opinions on a topic. It could be golf. It could be football. It could be something else entirely. And then we ask you, the public, to tell us who's right.
Yeah,
you get to go on there and vote.
We debate each and every topic in the world of sports. I'm pulling up my page so I can take a look, but we're at a pretty much a dead even record right now. We've had some hot takes. I did win the staggered scoring, or I'm about to. So I'm 8-7 right now, but follow us. I'm at COL Podcast Alex, and you're at COL Podcast Michael.
That's right. Make sure to check us out on Live Take. Download it on your app store today. Challenge us. Challenge other people. Drop your own hot takes as well on there and see what people think of you. Again, that's Live Take. Check them out in your app store and download today. Let your take be heard.
Next up, we've been highlighting my trip to the PBR Team Series in Austin, Texas to cheer on the Austin Gamblers. Our next guest is a professional rider for the Gamblers that's coming off a thrilling finishing ride and competition of his own. It's Austin Richardson joining us on the Course of Life. Austin, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Very good. It's great to have you on. We're in the second season now of the PBR Team Series. For fans who hadn't followed much bull riding or learning about it, it's your second season with the Austin Gamblers as well, too. I'm just curious, as someone who's come and to know this as an individual sport, first and foremost, now that we're seeing the Team Series play out, what are your impressions on the team competition? You liking it?
I'm loving it. It's the team deals is great for the sport for sure. I mean, I think it's brought the whole sport and everybody in it, and everybody that's watching it too kind of brings them into kind of how it works, and especially the ride that the Amazon Prime Video, getting to see the insides and outs, and to see how we train and how we go about bull riding. And it's not a group of guys that's being old cowboys, and I mean we work out, we train for this, and we put all our all into it for sure. But no, the team deals, it's great. I think it's built me more as a bull rider and a man for sure. Being with some of the guys like Jose on our team, like he's a 2-time world champion, probably one of the greatest bull riders of all time so far. And man, just being around all them guys, it really improves myself and and it's awesome for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about your winning moment you had in Anaheim, which was really special, I know. Tell me about your mentality for that, because again, this being a little bit different, you got not only, your hopes of the ride, but your team hopes as well, too. What's the mentality going into that final ride there?
I mean, it meant the world to help out my team get the win for sure. I mean, that boosted my confidence like no other. And like you said, I'm not just riding for myself. I'm riding for the team. And when I can put it together a big ride like that and shoot us off for a victory, that tops it off for sure. And it's awesome.
They were going crazy. I mean, they were loving it. We talked to, and we had your coach, Michael Gaffney, on the show recently, and the whole team was really loving it. I mean, what's that camaraderie like for you being part of the Gamblers?
I mean, it's all excitement. Like it's crazy. I mean, even if you're not riding like I was ready for a reride. I wasn't riding. I wasn't competing for sure. But Coach Gaffney, he came in and told me we got a reride, and so I was going to get on. And for me to come in and to do that, man, that was awesome. And I think it's more exciting to watch somebody else ride, like all my teammates, when I'm sitting on the sidelines and I'm watching them ride and they put up big numbers for the team. I mean, it's really exciting, especially when we all work as hard as we do and put as much as we can into it, and it all pays off.
Very well said, indeed. Austin, I'm curious. So being an Austin Gambler for you, but representing the home state, I know you have Texan ties. That's got to be a little bit extra special for you when you get out there and ride.
Oh, yeah, especially being a part of the Austin Gamblers. I mean, they're a great team. They take care of us so much and make sure we have everything we need to compete. And especially to be right here in Texas. I mean, I'm super proud to be to represent them for sure. And for us to be winning the year in right now or sitting in the lead, it tops it off, and it's a great time, and I'm so blessed to be a part of it.
You're originally from the northern part of the state, is that right? North Texas, Dallas area?
Yes, sir. Just south of Dallas, about 10 or 15 minutes.
Cool. So what's your impressions about Austin? Obviously, kind of it's a little bit different from the vibe up where you are, but what are your impressions of the city? What are your favorite parts of Austin itself?
I love Austin. I've gotten to visit there a bunch since I've been a part of the Austin Gamblers, and I have to say my favorite part is the river. I forgot the name of the river, but we go out there every time we go down to Austin. We go out on a boat or go surfing down the river or paddleboarding. It's always a great time down there, and I love that river. It's so much fun.
Yep, Town Lake, Lake Austin, Lake Travis. It's all pretty much the same, but it's all one good time.
Yeah.
Love being out on the water too. Very cool. I'm curious. You mentioned it earlier. I've seen the camaraderie, and for those who aren't following on social media, you definitely should follow the Gamblers and their account, because I saw a little bit of footage from the team workouts. I gotta know. People are probably very curious out there. What's the team workouts look like for bull riders these days?
So we don't want to be super big. We want to be lean and just we want to be as lean and fast as we can. So because you're not gonna outpower them bulls. So we do a lot of mobility and cardio and just try to stay lean and strong at the same time. But no, we try to work out as much as we can. Like the team, we all pretty much are up here in North Texas, and so we all train in Decatur with our trainer Jim Bowie. I mean, he has so much to do with it. He puts in so much work towards us and make sure we have everything we need, therapy, just getting healthy for the weekend. And for sure, whatever you put into it, you get out of it. And so with the Austin Gamblers, I mean, we truly work hard for it for sure.
Love that. So I'm curious, when we get to actual riding day and day of competition, are you a superstitious guy at all? Do you have a set routine for competition days?
So I don't like to be superstitious. I do have some lucky socks I wear most of the time when I ride, but
nice.
Our CEO JJ Josh, I mean, he's pretty superstitious. We have different riding shirts, and all we've been wearing is white, and we're 7-0 right now. We're in them white shirts. So I think we're going to keep it with that, and hopefully it carries on throughout this season.
All right. So are these socks, are they at least getting washed occasionally though? I just want to make sure that's still happening.
Yeah, Yes, for sure. Not going to be wearing no sticky socks. I think my team would kill me.
Yeah, it gets pretty muddy out there, I can imagine. And pre-ride, I know you put some really great music behind your social media content. It's Austin Richardson 22 on Instagram. I love following. What's the pre-ride music that you like to listen to pump yourself up?
So my shoot song is Gremlin by Kodak Black.
Okay, yeah.
I don't listen. I mean, I listen to country quite often, but I do like some pop. Get me bumping, get my motor running for sure. And that's probably when I hear that song, Super Gremlin. I mean, that's the kind of game on. I get in that zone and I'm ready to go.
Love that. Yeah, man. The edgy hip hop does kind of have that grit to it that gets you pumped up in a way that no other music can. So I like the Kodak Black tip. I think fans out there will appreciate it as well too. So I'm going to be heading to the competition at the Moody Center in Austin. Everyone check out the PBR website for where the team series is going to a city near you. But in terms of spectators who are maybe attending a bull riding event, say for the first time, tell everyone kind of what spectators should be looking for and watching when they're watching you in competition.
I think the most thing to watch is this kind of behind the back to the bucking chutes where we all hang out and where we are as a team before we get on and stuff. I mean, you get to kind of see a lot in the insides of what we're doing back there. I mean, yes, the rides are great and you're going to see a bunch of them, but really just kind of watching us in there and in the back getting ready and putting our bull ropes on our bulls and just how we go about things right when we're about to kick the games off. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll be watching the camaraderie a little bit more between the teammates then, definitely. I know we all want to kind of focus on the bulls, but it's definitely the lead up with the team atmosphere. That's very cool to see too. And I'm curious in terms of the ride and the ride quality itself. One thing I'm going to be looking for is kind of what are the things that fans can look for when they're watching bull riding that separates a good ride from a great ride? Kind of the more subtle parts of bull riding that you might not notice the first time you watch it.
Yeah. So like some guys, from a good ride to a bad ride, you'll see a really good rider stay in the middle and is really controlled. Sometimes will be distraction with his feet and just really controlled. And then there's some bad rides where you're kind of hanging off the side and just kind of holding on for dear life. That kind of separates a good ride from a bad ride. But like Jose, he's a really good rider. He hardly ever messes up, and if you watch him, he's like a robot on the back of that bull. All his moves are perfect, and he's not going to overdo himself or not make a move that's going to be behind the bull. And no, that's what you kind of want to look at as a bull rider that's sitting right in the middle of that bull and the perfect timing with him the whole time.
I'm very curious because I wanted to bring this up. I know you had some adversity where you had a season a couple years ago in 2021 where you were playing injured. Tell me about riding injured, kind of the status of the injury at the moment and how it affected your riding style as well. I'm very curious how that changed things up for you.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're all hurt or we're never going to be healthy and you're going to be sore or something's going to be bruised, but you just kind of have to put it in the back of your mind that once you nod your head, it's going to go away. That you're not going to feel that pain, and you just kind of put it behind you. But there is for sure when you're getting on bulls, it is kind of going to be in the back of your mind that you are going to get hurt, or if you're hurt, you're going to get worse hurt. So yeah, I just kind of try to put it behind me, and after the ride, I'll deal with it then. So, just kind of have to bear through it.
So the riding style stays the same for you, basically. It's just kind of seizing the moment and just toughening up for that ride and that momentary spot.
Exactly. I mean, it's only 8 seconds. I mean, it's going to hurt for sure once you get off. But once you're riding it, I mean, your adrenaline's going so much that you really can't feel any pain. And so after you're done, you'll kind of have to deal with it.
It's funny because I was looking at the injury reports too for the gamblers and other teams too. It's not something you quite think about if you don't follow much bull riding or just learning about the sport. But you guys are like hockey players. There's always some sort of injury for every one of you guys every week, I swear.
Oh yeah. So like right now, I got a bum ankle. I twisted it getting off a bull a couple of weeks ago, and it's still pretty swollen. And man, that's kind of. That kind of sucks because when you're getting on in the bucking chutes, it's all metal. So
yeah.
The bull moves around in there, it's bumping it, and that kind of bothers me. But like this past weekend, I rode the bull for 89 points, and I didn't feel that ankle one time during that ride. So.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you even think about jumping off differently or landing differently at all with a bum ankle, or no, you just go for it in the moment?
I think I just go for it. I mean, I'm gonna try my best not to land on it, but
yeah,
you can't really control that situation.
The fun part I wanted to bring up is when you do get off and you have that great ride, and the moment calls for the gritty. I got to ask about the gritty. Everyone knows the dance, but you busted out better than any other PBR rider does. What was the origin behind that?
I mean, I've seen it on TikTok and stuff, and one of my buddies, he was just like, you might as well hit the gritty if you're going to have the super gremlins on. So I started hitting the gritty, man. It really feels amazing when you make a qualified ride for 90 or 89 points and going out there and doing a celebration dance and, kind of toss it off. People love that a little bit more.
Yeah, it's that second crowd pop. You're used to that crowd pop for the great ride, but then when you get the second pop just for the dance, then you've done something special, right?
Yeah. For sure.
Love it. Again, it's Austin Richardson of the Austin Gamblers, professional bull rider, joining us. Austin Richardson 22 on Instagram. Let's get to some last few moments here in our conversation. I had to ask about this chance encounter that I heard about with a mini bull at a young age. Do your best to explain that story and what exactly went down in that encounter.
So I was little. I mean, started off riding bulls. I mean, a couple of my friends got me into it, but went to the mini bull riding, and so Chris Shivers, PBR bull rider, used to ride, and he used to put on mini bull riding. So I entered that up. I went to my first NBR World Finals in Las Vegas, so I got to go watch the PBR finals and compete, and that was really cool. Just to be a little kid and kind of get to watch the PBR and kind of grow up in that atmosphere, and now I'm riding in the PBR. It's kind of all of a dream. It's really crazy for sure.
Definitely, man. It gave you that sparkle in your eye when you were little. Had something aspirational. I love to hear that. I'm curious in terms of sports for you, Dallas area. What's you or your family's affiliation? You guys, Cowboys, Rangers fans up there? What do you like to root for?
Cowboys and the Rangers. My whole family, they love baseball, and we don't watch much football, but for sure, Dallas Cowboys is our hometown favorite team. So. Yeah, I love the Texas Rangers. I wanted to play baseball when I was a kid and wanted to make it to the big leagues, but kind of went a different direction with bull riding, for sure.
Definitely. If you could get one day in the major leagues playing for the Rangers, what position would you start yourself at?
I'd have to say I like to be a shortstop. I mean, I know I'm probably not fit for it. I'm a little shorter guy, but I'm really fast and I can throw the ball pretty quick. I wish I could play the shortstop position. That'd be awesome.
Love it. Very cool. All right. We usually wrap up our conversations with some food questions. So these will be pretty easy for you because I see you active on the Pit Boss Grills there on your social media. And I saw you made some tacos as well too. So we're in Texas here. We love tacos. So tell us all about your one or your favorite taco recipes you like to do on the grill.
And so I took these Mexican fajita tacos. I love them. I go to this meat market right down the street from my house, and they marinate them for me and everything. But man, I love throwing out some tacos. It's easy, it's fast, and especially when I got a big group of friends over, we're bucking bulls or something. But I love throwing fajitas, avocados, bell peppers, onions, all that together. I mean, that's probably the most I cook around here. I mean, we do cooked steaks and other stuff, brisket and ribs and stuff. But I love those tacos. I mean, that seasoning that they put on it is so good, and it's just quick to put up for sure.
I know. What's with that fajita seasoning? It's like a drug, I swear, sometimes. It's unbelievable. Yeah, all right. We'll end with our 19th hole question as well. We usually ask that to golfers, but for the riders on the show, let's do a Texas spin and let's make our own Texas barbecue plate, since I know you can get down with that. So let's start Texas barbecue joint, your favorite place. What are your two meats that you'd put on there?
I like brisket, or I have to do brisket or a chalk beef sandwich. I also love those little burn-ins. Those burn-ins, those are really good.
Yes, like candy bacon right there. And then two sides for you. What are your favorite sides? I'm usually like a cream corn or like a jalapeno mac and cheese guy.
Yeah. No, I love corn and either corn or mashed potatoes or mac and cheese for sure.
Anything else we need to add on there? Special bread, dessert, drink? What am I missing for you there?
Cornbread. Cornbread is my favorite bread. I love cornbread and probably a sweet lemonade for sure, strawberry lemonade.
Love it. Awesome. Austin, thank you so much for hopping on. Excited to follow more of the PBR team series. Be sure to follow Austin and the Gamblers on social media, and best of luck with the rides the rest of the season.
I really appreciate you. See you in Austin.
And we're back. Great chat there with Austin. Rode an entire season, Alex. Did I hear this right? With a broken
entire
collarbone?
Yes. These guys, it's funny, maybe the bull riders get knocked for not being the biggest guys. That doesn't mean they're not built different. I mean, these are tough guns right here. And it's like Coach Gaffney said a couple weeks ago, and Austin reiterated, it's that man versus beast rivalry, and it's fascinating to watch. You never know what you're going to get at any moment from a ride. Really need to get that perspective from Austin. I'm looking forward to future Austin Gamblers days. Mike, it started off with just pyrotechnics everywhere. You would have loved the pre-production show. It really and my dad turned to me yesterday and thought it was the Super Bowl. There was so much hype around the pregame. And you would have loved the production there behind everything and the riders and building them up. And then Sunday, like I said, was the shark cage. So I was basically in the cage next to the cameraman for CBS Sports as the bulls shoot out with their riders on top. I had a couple of bulls completely circle the cage, which is always fun. I posted a great reel, which we shared at COL Podcast. So be sure to check that out. I'll have a video in the next couple of weeks as well, documenting the full experience. But PBR event, Mike, wouldn't have expected to have as much fun as I did at a bull riding event.
Now I want to go to one. I've been willing to go to one before. Now I really want to go to one.
You know what? So. Really fun take and an easy take too. Door to door, like 2.5 hour show. You get to see 4 different matchups. The matchups move quick, 30 minutes each, 5 minutes in between. It's a really easy take for a sports fan who loves competition.
Love it.
Yeah.
So make sure you follow us on Instagram, COL Podcast, Course of Life Alex, MWRINC, so you can check the reels we post there and our stories and everything, so you never miss what's going on in our lives in the world of sports and all that fun stuff. We're on Threads too at those same handles, COL Podcast, Course of Life Alex, MWRINC. We're on Twitter too. Well, Alex is on Twitter, Course of Life 1. I'm there, but I don't really say anything anymore, MWRINC. We're on YouTube, so you can check all those videos of us recapping that trip to Ireland as well. We're on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, everywhere. Make sure as you're listening, you're subscribing and you're punching that like button or giving us 4 stars or whatever you feel is appropriate to show your love and respect for us.
I love that you don't even ask for 5. That's so humble of you. You just asked for 4.
That's great. I don't want to seem like we're rigging the system.
We're just asking for a B- out here. That's it.
Yeah.
Just 4 out of 5. That's all.
It's above average, just barely above average. Keep expectations low. That's what we do.
Love it.
Speaking of expectations, Notre Dame just blew out Navy in Dublin to start off college football.
Called that. That was an awesome start to week 0. Blowout win for Notre Dame. USC looked okay, but didn't cover. There weren't that many highlights from week 0, but it was just great to have college football back on the screen. My week 0 picks 2-1. Basically, I'll get you that early week preview. That's going to be the cadence this season on Run Your Pool. I'll tell you my thoughts on the overall spread of the week, but then Saturday morning, you'll get those magical picks, which you'll see on Twitter and Threads at Course of Life 1, at Course of Life Alex. So 2-1 to start the season. Always good to start out on a winning note, and I won't complain ever about that.
Do we think Deion Sanders is going to win his coaching debut?
Oh, wow, how crazy would that be? A 20-point underdog right now at TCU. He's the coach of the Colorado Buffaloes right now. In case you're not following, that's right. Deion Sanders is the coach of the Colorado Buffaloes, and his son's going to be the quarterback. So that's definitely the tune-in for this weekend for sure. There's some other great matchups with LSU and Florida State, Florida and Utah, but if I'm tuned in one game, I'm definitely curious to see how Coach Prime's debut goes.
Also, I want to talk a little baseball, and not Major League Baseball, but Little League World Series. Did you see the walk-off home run to win the whole thing for California?
I have some sad news for that kid. His life just peaked.
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry,
it's not going to get any better than that, Mike. I mean, you hit a walk-off home run like that, and you're a California kid just to win the World Championship on ABC in front of millions and thousands in person. What an absolute moment for that kid. I was discussing this with my wife, Mike. How popular is that kid going to be? We're heading right back into the start of the school year. I mean, that kid better just be reaping it all in right now. This is his moment after the walk-off home run.
Because guess what? In about 5 years, you're going to be sitting in the corner going like, I was the kid who won it for California in the last night at the walk-off. Come on, man. Sorry, dude.
Benched for 2 other shortstops that are younger and better than him, right? That's the way the world of sports works. But now that we brought that kid down successfully, that was an awesome moment to see. Shout out to El Segundo for winning that walk-off for California. Always love a good feel-good story, and the Little League World Series tends to produce a few of those.
A 5th straight United States victory for the World Series Cup. 5th straight World Series for the United States. Is this becoming a runaway? I mean, I thought this used to be like everyone won, and now it's just the U.S.
Definitely doesn't translate on the world scene because the U.S. can't win the World Baseball Classic or the Olympics, that's for sure. So it's interesting to see that, but I feel like that tide's going to change in the years to come.
All right, let's hashtag always end with food.
Yep, food segment to end every Course of Life podcast. Always end with food on Instagram. And I'll pat my own back, Mike. I've made it another year. It's my birthday week. I'm here. I'm closing in on 36, if you can believe it or not.
Welcome to the end of your mid-30s. You are now closer to 40 than you are to 30.
Firmly entrenched in my late 30s as you listen to this. It's my birthday week, though, so I'm going to celebrate and go out with a bang. This is what I am doing, Mike. I got a plan to do 36 holes for my 36th birthday. It's going to be a 9-hole pitch and putt, a 9-hole short course, and 18 for real. We'll see if I can execute it. But it's all about the birthday meal. That's what you're wondering. Yeah. I'm going right down the middle. I'm not doing anything too fancy because it's something I haven't had in a while, ironically. I'm going to my old school, classic Austin Tex-Mex spot. I'm going to Dos Salsas. It's going to be queso guacamole salsa, start with a couple apps, full plate of sizzling fajitas, maybe a couple tacos, mixed enchilada plate, couple margaritas. If I'm leaving anything out, I'll try and order some more, but I'm going all the way for that this year.
I'm just confused. You're in your mid to late 30s now, and you're able to eat all that food?
I'm going to be sharing it for sure. And we'll take some to go. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But it'll be a great Mexican birthday meal. That's what I'm going with. And the one other thing that I will say is I've got a nice little stable of free birthday meals. Shout out to my Pluckers Club membership. I got a free entree coming right there. I'm heading over to BJ's Brewhouse for a free Pizookie, which is their wonderful cookie skillet dessert. So I'm just absolutely spoiled with the birthday week meals. I'll be taking full advantage of all of them.
You know, I'm jealous of people that don't have their birthday, even though it is around a holiday. It's a Labor Day weekend. It's not around a big, like I'm always around Thanksgiving. So I don't go out for my birthday. I don't get to go do stuff. I even, because I've worked in retail in places where I usually have to work around the holiday, I don't get my birthday off typically. So,
you're being deprived of a great American luxury, the free birthday stuff in the form of food and drink. Wow.
So I'm going to have to try this year. I think I'm going to have like the full weekend off. My birthday's on a Sunday. Not to make this whole conversation about your birthday about me, but I
need this for you. You need this for me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look for this because, I'm even closer to 40 than you are. So, I'm an old man. So
we'll end on that daunting thought right there. I hope everyone had a fantastic listen to this, though. And if you lasted this long, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. That's a wrap on this week's Course of Life. We'll see you next week.